Alright, I just got done making this video, but I'm going to redo it because the other one came out to 30 minutes, and I can only upload short videos. That said, here's a market rundown for making money, selling items, whatever. When you go to sell items, you hit sell. You can sell your items directly to a buy order, 500. Oh, in this tab, for example, you want to open this. Shows you the buy orders, shows you what it's currently going for. You can sell to the buy order, which is 500, or you can put up a sell order to undercut these guys. Now, when you're going to sell, you don't put a new retarded price like 1,000. You only need to undercut by 1. Boom. Now, if I were to list this, which I'm not gonna because I'm keeping it, it would go on here and it would be on the top, which means it would sell first. You don't have to undercut by 1,000. You don't have to undercut by tens of thousands if you're selling a bigger item. Undercut by 1. This keeps the value up, and it almost guarantees that your item will sell first. Okay, that's for that. Now, if you want to make some money, you can go to create buy order. Here, hideout construction kit. Click on it. You see, you can click on the item to get a relative value, 16 million. No one is selling one, which means it is not a common item. And the buy orders are incredibly low, nowhere near value, so whatever. You can go over by 1 and be on top, or you can make it look like a bigger number. Choose how many you want to buy, and boom, create buy order. And now you can see this grayed line means it's yours, and you're on top, which means when somebody goes to sell one, if they just hit sell, it's going to go to you first because you're on top. Now you can go into your orders, my orders. If you're selling something, you can click on it, make sure yours is on top. It means it's the cheapest. You only need to go under by 1. You don't have to drop by tens of thousands. It's not going to increase your chances of selling before this guy. You want to sell before this guy, you only got to be 1. Keep the value of the item up. Okay. Now, if you're doing your buy orders, you click on whatever it is, make sure you're on top and you're good. Scroll down through all your items, whatever, and that'll fix that. Now, if you're wanting to make some money, items, the suggested values, let's go with the Kingmaker sword. So, the suggested value of the item is roughly what the item's going for, 44,700. So if you were in a regular big city, the price would be somewhere around this. Since we're out in the black zone, prices are different and they go up. So instead of 44,000, now you're looking at 68,000. So if you want to make money, transportation is your game. So buy an ox, or if you're really doing it and you really want to avoid getting caught, what you want to do is get a mount that's useful for hauling things. Let's go for a rare mount. And we'll change the price because they are more. Alright, so like the settled wild boar, it's not really 500,000. 344,000 if you buy in this city. But what it does is you got a pretty decent speed on it, and your max load goes way up, so you can carry some shit, right? Or pest lizards are really nice too. Got this from a gatherer, but look at this. 315, so not as much as the other one, but you're running at 110 constantly. It's also pricier. But the fact is you can transport easier. So, yeah, okay. So, winter bears are, well, they're kind of slower also. You'd be better off on a tier 3 horse. Yeah. Anyways, point is, get yourself a decent mount. That, or be really fucking sneaky. Even a tier 5 horse would be decent. Tier 5, tier 6. Uh, Now the mounted shit you can carry isn't exactly the greatest, but you got some decent speed on there. Anyways, point is, uh, what you do is buy the items. In this case, you don't want to go with tier 4, uh, just because there are no tier 5s, so that might be something worth bringing. The 4.1 would be worth bringing. So you'd buy it in town for roughly 62,000. If you got 10 of them, we'll say, then you bring them out here. You see there's one for sale for 100,000, so you could undercut him, just go 99,999, and yours would sell first. And then suddenly, you're making basically what, 38,000 profit. Well, we'll call it 32,000 just to discount all the fees. Uh, so 32,000, and you did 10 times, so that's 320,000. So you're making 320,000 silver just for buying this at a regular city and running it out to a black zone city. Black zone cities. Black zone cities are fun. Uh, they're a bitch to get to, but they can be worth it. So here you have Arthur's Rest. Up here towards the purple side, you got Morgana's Rest. Been a while since I looked at anything over here. Okay, and then you have Merlin's Rest. So you've got a city near the colored zones. Say it's in between these two. Arthur's Rest is between these two. Merlin between those two. etc. So, anyways, you would buy at a regular city. Say, what is this? Murloc over here, blue. Um, and then you'd have to run it down here. Scroll out a little bit here. So, however long it takes you, you gotta run 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm lost. Okay, here we are. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Basically 8 zones. I think if you come down from this one, you can get away with 6 or something. Anyways, buy it, transport it, make yourself some money. And there are items you could do too. Swift Claw. Or not items, but mounts. Mounts are pretty good. These are... Oh, it's showing for 6. Okay, 150,000 is the actual value. These are actually cheaper out here, which is amusing. And strange. But, you got morons that like to undercut too much. Plus, with all the fighting that goes on and everybody getting these, they're plentiful out here. Honestly, you almost see more people on Swift Claws than you do on Tier 3 horses. But, if we were to look at... So, if you wanted to transport pest lizards, these have a value of approximately $1 million. Which means if you came out with 10 of those, you're making basically 250,000 per. So you make 2.5 million just for running 10 of them out here. So I mean, you're looking at quality, quantity, risk, reward, yada yada. Now, if you really want to do something more like quantity, go with consumables. And at this point, you could call bags consumables because everybody wants a tier 4. And they are, so 12, 3, 4,000. So these are basically 4,000 in town. They sell for 6,000 out here. So you're making 2,000 per. Doesn't sound like a lot, but you do 10, that's 20,000. Do 100, that's 200,000. So, and these fly off the shelves. Everybody needs consumables. The same with like poisons. Still showing the fucking stack. Where's the single at? Here we are. 837, and that's a bad one. Okay, here we go, I think. So 3,300-ish. And they sell for 49, so you're making 1,100 per. You know what I mean? And the stuff adds up. These are all things that disappear. Like everybody needs a bunch of these. Yoink. Uh, so you can make a lot of money transporting them. But that's the whole quantity quality thing, right? Um, Now bags are nice and cheap. They're cheap to make also. Jesus, seriously? These were 5,000 yesterday, which is already absurd because they're cheap as shit. 2,400. So if you ran out bags right now and undercut, I'm tempted to do it myself. If you run out bags, I mean, you're making almost 10,000 silver a bag. 10 bags and you made 100,000 silver. And people buy these like crazy. It's ridiculous. Anyways, I'm not going to dig around through too much. The video's already too long as it is. But it's a market rundown. You know, it's a way to make money passively. Passive income. Called passive because, like all passive things, it basically runs on its own and does its own thing. So you really don't have to worry about it too much. Wow, this dude is terrible. Ah, see these Perigosi guys. These guys are fucking atrocious. I'm in tier 5 and 6. Anyways, sword. So he gets a charge based on charges, which means you watch his buffs. And when he gets around 3, then that's when you want to go ahead and put up your reflect because he's going to have to use it or lose it. Wow, how did that cancel my... I'm not sure how that canceled my ult. And then my dagger just went through him. Lame as shit. Yeah, game just glitched. Because he doesn't have anything that can cancel my ult. But, anyways,